Well, for those of you that watched my initial video that showed how to make the echo printing with the leaves, this is the second batch that I made. I use a lot of the same leaves that I used in the first one, but this time what I did, maybe about an hour into it, I got the idea of throwing in some curry. I had the powdered curry, and you know, if you cook with it, it stains everything. So I thought, well, let's do it on purpose. So I threw a little bit in there, not knowing exactly how much to put, but I could see a little bit of the remnant of the curry that kind of bled in. I was a little you know, stingy with it. I didn't put too much because I wasn't sure what was going to happen. But as you look through these, you'll be able to see, you know, the influence of the curry. And I like the little subtleness that it did. You can see there's a lot here that came in. Now this was a dying flower. I mean, it was all wilted and everything, so I just put it in there and kind of smashed it. And this was a smaller, now I forgot. I forget now if this was a zinnia or a smaller dahlia. I'm almost positive it's a zinnia. Yeah. And this was another zinnia. And there was a few there that was really just, there wasn't anything left, but I did leave the head and put those on here. And you can see what it did. And you can also see the, like I say, the curry that's going in there. Now this one is the dahlia, that real big white one that you probably saw in my other videos. It was a bouquet that was brought to the workshop that we had. And this one really came out nice. I like that. And these again were some more of the zinnias. And I just, whatever was left. Not too much was left, but it looks, I like how it came out. I know I keep turning them around, but I know because to you, you're probably going, why is she turning those around? They look the same no matter what. But I know what the flowers were. And it helps me identify them if they're right side up. This was just stems that I put in to see what would happen. It's fun, just experimenting. This is another zinnia. And I'm trying to remember which tree. What I do now, I'm getting a little obsessive. Like I used to look around for interesting papers and trash. Now I'm running around looking for interesting leaves. So I carry a paper bag with me and a strong pair of scissors. And I'm cruising parking lots. Looking at the trees and the bushes. And with fall coming, you know, they're all over the parking lots. So that was my second batch. Of course, those of you that do jelly printing, you know it's kind of addictive. Well, let me tell you, this is just as bad as far as being addictive. So Now I get to show you my third, my third batch. And in this batch, what I did is I put paprika. So it's a little different shade. And it was interesting, what I also did too, now all of these, yes, all of these are the watercolor papers. And in my first video, I wasn't sure if it made a difference if you used the textured side or the smooth side, and I tested both and it works the same. It really made no difference at all, which I was kind of surprised, you know, because, you know, the porousness on each side is different, but it made no difference. They came out identical. Okay, so then I decided to move on and try something else, and what I did with these here, which, believe it or not, the paper, I guess it shouldn't be surprising, but it kind of surprised me. The paper makes a big difference on the color. Now, this here, on my original watercolor paper, it just comes out almost like black. This is the crepe myrtle. It comes out, like I say, almost just all black. This is a manila file folder. And look at the colors that it came out. Even the leaves came out different. Now, granted, I have the paprika in here, but I don't think the paprika had anything to do with this. You can see where the paprika went and didn't go. But interesting. So if this is something you're interested in, I would definitely just test all kinds of stuff. Different papers, different additives you put in. Of course, you know, I'm trying to do everything natural, so the things I'm putting in are just things like spices that have natural dyes in them. And I know obviously they aren't toxic because, you know, we eat them. Now this again is the crepe myrtle. And it just looks completely different. It's green. This is that pink flower. And again, before, when I did it on the watercolor paper, it was just dark. Some more file folder paper. This is the canna. These two are the canna. And it came out. This is a yellow canna. Comes out the green. And these were, this is a leaf from a big tree that I have in the yard. I don't even remember what it's called, but the leaves are very, very, it's this whole big thing. It didn't even fit in. I had to cut some of it off. But I think it came out so pretty. It's very subtle. And this is the crepe myrtle again. Now this one did come out a little darker, almost like the watercolor one, but still it had a lot of green that did not show up when I did it on my watercolor paper. Now this was closer to the bottom, so it really got a lot of the paprika. It's, I think it looks really cool. And these again are all the, no, this one here, this one is watercolor paper. But the paprika made it look pretty cool. This is watercolor paper also. Watercolor paper. It's watercolor paper. watercolor paper. So you see the different colors that you can achieve through adding the different spices. Now I decided to try some other papers besides the watercolor and the manila. Now this here came out pretty interesting, and this is this paper that's right here. This is, you can buy this by the roll at you know, like Home Depot and Lowe's, and it's called resin paper, and it normally goes under wood floors, and you can get a big bolt with, I forget how many feet on it, for like about $11. But anyway, that's what I used with this one. You can just see a little bit of a remnant of the pink in here, and this is how it dyed, and I thought it was pretty interesting. This one was the first manila folder that I tried before I did the other ones, and again, you know, you get a lot more greens on the manila folder. I also tried some vellum. In one way it was a failure, and in another way it was, to me, successful, because you don't really see the actual print, but the color does transfer, and you know, it's permanent on there. It doesn't lay flat, it kind of squished up and wrinkled up and everything, but I like it. I like it a lot. And so that's vellum. It held up. And here's some more of this paper. Now, I also used this one. This one is tracing paper, and it does transfer onto it, and it is permanent, but I should have, next time I do it, I'm not going to open it up until it's a lot more drier, because it was wet, obviously, and so when I opened it up, it sort of made it move and bleed. So I think I'll try and let it dry naturally next time, and see if I can avoid all of that bleeding. But it does work. This is a paper bag, one of those lunch ones. It was white, and I had just folded some in there, some leaves, and this is how it came out. I think it came out pretty neat. Here's another bag. This is when I did it with the curry. And then this one I did with the paprika. I think I didn't lay the plants in there too well, and they didn't really do it as well as the first one, so I did something wrong. This one you can hardly see it at all, you just see little spots here and there. But it's still interesting. It can still be used for something. Now this one really got, these were on the bottom, and it just really sucked up a lot of that. And these are morning glories. If you're familiar with morning glories, it's like a vine, and it has the little flowers. Well, the vine, that's all that's left. That's all that showed up, was the little squiggly part, and then you can see some of the flower from the morning glory here and here and here and there. So I got to try that one again and see what happens. I don't know where that green came from, but this is another morning glory. And it's funny how just here and here it came out a little bit pink, and that was it. Alright, so then today I went to my favorite place where it's a warehouse where they just have discount everything. And they had all of these spices, and their leaves, right? And they were all for 10 cents a piece, so I got $1's worth. And so my next boiling adventure is I'm going to be using all of these leaves from different herbs. And so we'll see what it does. Like, this is sage. It may come out purple. I don't know. It looks like it has a purple tinge to it. This is cat's claw. I have no idea what cat's claw is, but it's some kind of a bark. So I might shred that up a little bit and put that on a page. And here are mustard seeds. I think I'll put a few just plain, and I'm going to grind some up. I have a grinder, and put it into a little powder and see if that comes out the color of mustard or not. Here's allspice. I'm going to put these in the grinder also and sprinkle that on the paper. And then we have chamomile. So hopefully that'll turn yellow, but you just never know with these things. And then wormwood. I don't know what that's going to do. I just know this is supposed to be extremely bitter. I've never, eaten it or drank it or anything, but it's supposed to be pretty nasty. And then this says lemon tea, but this is lemongrass. So we'll see what lemongrass does. So this is going to be my next boiling adventure, and once I'm all done with these, I'll let you guys all know how it came out.